Alright, what is going on, guys? And we are 6 days out from our first, or I should say our second ever sanctioned powerlifting meet, and our first powerlifting meet at a appropriate weight class where we actually cut down and didn't just bloat max all the way to greatness. But right here we are at a new gym alert, and this week I actually tried out two brand new gyms and worked out at I think 3 or 4 different gyms total. This is Iron Heroes Gym in Milwaukee, one that I was very excited to visit because look at how cool it is. Look at all of the artwork they have. I love the kind of golden era, kind of rusty garage gym feel that this gym had. And I, of course, loved all of the anime designs. I loved the Dragon Ball Z stuff they had in there. They had a downstairs one that was a little more like, I don't know, like girly themed, I'll say. Like that had like a pink, like Barbie style font and like pink dumbbells and everything down there. Probably saw a picture of it. And they had a posing room. The first gym I've been to that had an actual posing room with really good lighting, and unlike Animal House, which is one that did have a posing room, the lighting is great in here. So it's actually making me look somewhat decent after the 4th of July bender, despite me being absolutely like bloated out of my mind and having completely derailed the cut. But it's summer, that's kind of what it's for. And this day I had a top set of 375 for 3 on squat, which is a big PR for me, by the way, one of the biggest squat PRs I've ever hit. And then I also have just a little bit of close grip bench. I had, in addition to those, actually that's all I had for this day, and I just kind of warmed up with some of their unique lat equipment because I had to get the blood flowing, kind of lube up the shoulders a little bit, and then take a bunch of like sick aesthetic pictures with the gang. This week is going to be pretty tough because I did a lot of caloric damage in the 4th of July weekend, and I did make myself kind of a cushion by cutting hard beforehand so that I had some calories to spare. But we're definitely going to try to stay lightly, like very lightly active throughout the week. Right here I'm spotting my boy Leb. Look at him swim across a freaking lake as he prepares for a triathlon. Absolutely insane. But yeah, we're kind of both in damage control but also in prep for the powerlifting meet because we have some calories to burn, but we want to stay energized. Alright, what is going on, YouTube? And it is finally the week of our long-awaited powerlifting meet. And here we are again with you watching the video, tuning in for more gains and me hopping on the inversion table. It is currently Tuesday, and oh man, does it feel good to be upside down. We just got done from a really fun kind of 4th of July bender. My boy Critter was in town. We got some sick workouts. I tried out like 3 different gyms, had some great workouts, including the one from yesterday. But anyway, that is not the point. The point is we are 5 days out from our next powerlifting meet, where we'll be competing at 163. And after the bender, we have a little bit of bloat going on. So we're doing damage control this week, and we are on a gut cut. And so I'm going to be documenting what the gut cut entails. It's going to be a mini what I eat in a day. And then I'm also going to be tracking all of my top sets, which you will have seen half of them by now. And then just what I'm doing in order to get ready for the powerlifting meet. So as you guys know, I am big into taking salt baths for recovery. So I'm going to do a salt bath right after this. Then I'm going to do a salt bath on Wednesday. And I'm also going to do one on Friday. However, Saturday I lift at 3 p.m. And then after that, I'm going to do a little bit of traveling again. Basically, that's going to mean no salt bath Saturday. And that's okay, because this is going to be 4 days of taking the salt baths, and then I'm going to really dial it back because the U.S. is going into kind of a drought because of extreme temperatures and data centers vaporizing our water supply. So I just wanted to say a couple things, a couple golden tidbits to just conserve water a little bit and slow down the kind of evaporation process. One thing would be to collect water in buckets when it's raining in mass in the yard and stuff. Store them in plastic tubs and then use that water for things like, cleaning or, washing the car or feeding the animals, watering the flowers inside, like you're watering your indoor plants, stuff like that, or watering the garden. Just like have some plastic Tupperware bins that you fill up with water, and then use that for all of your non-drinking water. And then the other thing is to, if your pee's pretty clear, don't flush. That one's pretty obvious. That's been a golden tidbit for a while. Don't take as many salt baths. It's tough. Try to get some water filters, some like Brita water filters, so you can do stuff, outside of the house, like filter, water from external sources a little bit more, and then maybe just keep some water in storage. Like maybe you have to go with the microplastic route and get water bottles and jugs and stuff, but it's better than nothing to have a little bit on standby just in case. But anyway, we are going to shower, take our salt bath, and then I'm actually going to hit the inversion table once more. So I'm really excited for the meet, as you guys can imagine. I had a ton of fun on this kind of 4th of July bender, and now it's time to lock back into reality, and I'm ready for it. So this week we're definitely going to be keeping our steps in. The calories are going to be a little bit low, and the gut cut is going to be consisting of almonds, protein powder, milk, and orange juice. That's the extent of what I'm going to be having, and then we'll get to have a little bit of either honey, chocolate, or ice cream at the end of every day. The amount of each of those will fluctuate a little bit, but for the most part, that's it. And we're going to be minimizing our gut content and really cutting down through, controlling the type of food we're eating. So stay tuned for that. And, let's get it, guys, because it's the week. It's finally here, and we're ready to dominate, honestly. So let's freaking get it, boys. So we are 2 days out, and we just finished our Jimmy cookie. 410 calories right there. And then we got our second meal of almonds. We'll be having about 4.5 of these little plates of almonds right here. The name of the game right now is calorically dense foods, but I'm just keeping the calories at the same level they would have been while I was cutting. So it's taking up less mass and waste in my stomach. And then we're just doing a plethora of protein shakes mixed with milk, some with water, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of orange juice and probably a little bit more chocolate for the rest of the day, but we're pretty much only dealing with 5 different things at this point. Milk, orange juice, almonds, protein powder, and chocolate. That's all we really got. That's the extent of it. And I was 166 this morning, which is huge, seeing as I had a crazy 4-day bender / cheat day. So I'm gonna finish up these almonds just because I felt like having a little bit more in me. And then we are going to crush this workout. Our last workout before the meet. It's 2 days away.
Crave. Crave.
Alright, so that concludes our last workout before the meet. Now we are going to replenish with some post-workout, and our meal of choice on this kind of prep or gut cut is going to be 1 cup of milk right here, and then we got 1 cup of orange juice. Those are kind of the carbs we're going with. I'm going to save my almonds for later. I'm about 2/5 of the way through my daily almonds, and I'm going to be using this with my milk for my protein of choice. And I'm also going to throw some creatine and some collagen powder into this blend. So that is going to be about 25 grams of protein plus 18. So that's 43 plus the 8 from the milk. So yeah, that's going to be a 51 gram of protein shake. And this powder tastes really good, by the way, especially if you mix this with like yogurt or something. Delicious. Here is our collagen we're using, and then creatine will be pretty basic brand of creatine. And then lastly, our creatine right here. And yesterday I forgot my creatine, which is not ideal. So we'll have just a little bit extra creatine today and a little bit extra creatine tomorrow. So maybe like 5.7 grams or something like that of creatine 2 days. And I think we'll balance out. It won't be that big of a deal. So here is our shake. So we got our shake, and I'm going to drink my orange juice right before I have it. And yes, this is not a very voluminous diet we're on right now, but you can see we're clearing that stomach a little bit. Looking actually, pretty good. The vacuum's not bad. But yeah, the gut cut is not as bad as I thought it would be. It's a little weird. Like, I feel very satiated after having the almonds, but I still feel like the energy levels of one who is on the cut, if that makes any sense. So it's cool. And since I'm having so much protein powder, because all my protein is either coming from the almonds or the protein powder, I'm trying a lot of new protein powder flavors, which has also been kind of nice. But yeah. My plan for tomorrow, as I don't have any workouts, I'll probably just get some steps in, go for a couple walks, stretch of course, salt bath, and just kind of lay low, rest up. I'll kind of treat tomorrow as like a Sabbath, a rest day, since Saturday is going to be a big day. But yeah, I don't know if I'll get any recording of tomorrow, but if not, I will see you guys next meal or on Saturday. Alright, so we are on the last day of our water loading. It's currently Friday. This is the only snippet check-in I'm doing. I'm currently just watching some One Piece, and I've been playing a lot of BO2 today.
UAV awaiting orders.
Because this full water bottle, and then about this much of coffee, this much of milk, and this much of orange juice is all I've had to drink all day long. That's all I'm doing for fluid. So I'm thirsty, I'm tired. I don't feel good. The crazy things we do to make weight, I think next time, like if I continue powerlifting, I should just bite the bullet and try to bulk up, like just get strong enough in another weight class and maybe not cut. It has been a really fun experience. I tried Oreos today. I tried ice cream today, and that's because it's dense, so it takes up less room in my stomach, less room in waist. So it's a short-term tactic to kind of reduce volume in my gut. I'll put up a couple pictures of how I was looking earlier today. Not too bad for my diet consisting of junk food. I definitely don't feel the best. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna hit PRs tomorrow, but I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the whole refeed, recomposition tactics that we will be pulling out tomorrow. I feel like I look all right. I feel like a bodybuilder on prep, and that excites me. But thank God for BO2 coming out to PlayStation, because without that, I would have not been, passing time, and I would not have been distracted from how dehydrated and thirsty I feel today. But anyway, I'm really excited. I'm gonna sleep really well tonight and hopefully hit some PRs and just compete tomorrow. So my expectations, I really don't know what to expect from myself or from the competition around me, and certainly not from what the result's gonna be, but I'm gonna have fun. So I'll catch you guys then, I guess. All right, so we just weighed in at 162.7. So we're probably gonna head out in a couple hours. See how we're looking today. I thought I'd look a lot leaner and stuff because of the gut cut, but you can see how it kind of made my stomach have less space. There's still a little bit of fat, of course, but we've just compartmentalized a lot of it. But just grabbed some energy drinks because I can't have any fluids till I weigh in, so that means no coffee, so that means I'm gonna have to crack a can open. So we're pretty much just gonna stretch and then head over, and then we're gonna hit some PRs today. It's gonna be a good day, super pumped, and yeah, I'll catch you guys there. All right, so we got 2 bananas, orange juice, 3 protein bars, got my creatine element. Right in this case, I have a ham sandwich and then 2 extra pieces of bread. Actually, that's a turkey sandwich. And then this is my honey.
All right, Callie, what are you up to? What are you thinking?
I'm excited.
Do you think this is gonna get you into powerlifting? You'll think you'll do a meet ever?
I don't know. I don't deadlift a whole lot, but I really enjoy watching.
Okay, and which area do you think CJ is gonna excel the most at?
CJ has a really good bench, so I think he could dominate in that. But I also know he can squat a lot. I don't really know what he deadlifts, but I'm pretty sure it's also a lot. But I think with this weight, with this cutting plan, he's gonna dominate in all fields.
Okay, Mom, what do you think?
CJ's gonna rock it, man. He's ultramite.
And what do you hope to learn from this meet that you'll take into your powerlifting meet?
Basically trying to observe on form and just trying to keep my energy level intact because I'm about ready to spaz out right now.
Bruh. There's... Oh, careful. What's the question?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling ecstatic for CJ and ecstatic for CJ. And I hope he does amazing and just has fun at the end of the day and takes what he learns from here into his meet in Nebraska.
What do you think CJ's gonna do the best in?
I feel like I see most of his progress from bench.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he excels with that.
And you've never seen CJ in a powerlifting meet, so how are you feeling?
I'm elated. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we all are.
Alright, so I figured I would do this video in a kind of different style of way, because with each of my powerlifting attempts, there's different music playing in the background, so that would be like 80 billion different copyright strikes. So I figured I'd voice it over and then kind of put my own music, but also turn down the original audio a little bit, so you can hear a little bit of the cheering, but not quite the music. But yeah, actual meet. It went pretty well. I'm just going to give you guys my thoughts right now and kind of rehash it all. Wonderful camera work from my mother and sisters. And honestly, I had a great day. It did not go how I expected it to, but once I was kind of under the weight, once I was warming up, I was pretty happy with most of my results, even though during training I had these expectations that I was going to hit crazy PRs, but honestly I kind of did. Once I went in there and understood what it was to have a squat, bench, and deadlift all in one day, because I did do SBD sessions, so it took a lot more conditioning and stuff, and there's kind of a endurance to it that you have to maintain. But anyway, I started with the 350 something squats. I'll get the exact numbers posted up here before each attempt. Then my second attempt was 375, and I will show you in a second what my closing one is. My opener for bench was 275, and my opener for deadlift was 341. Another thing I want to point out is that I could probably do on bench press, I could do anything below 300 any day of the week with no warm-up. I'm very confident of that, for at least one. I could hit a single of anything below 300, literally any day of the week. But anything above 300, it could be my worst day. I could get 0 hours of sleep and hit 315. I could have perfect sleep, perfect hydration, great nutrients, and fail. It's just completely up in there. It's up to the Lord, really. Anything beyond 300 for me at this point. But I just want to say that there was my 391 squat attempt, which is a meet PR for me. Technically, it's a weight PR for me because I haven't hit anything that high in the what did I weigh? 163. Haven't hit it at 163 before. Now we're moving on to bench, and I just want to say that no matter what, I had a ton of fun today. I was very locked in. I want to say how grateful I am for my coach and his brilliant planning, Caden. I'm very happy to be part of Phenom Training Systems, and it's been going great. And I am somewhat hooked on powerlifting, so you're gonna stay tuned and find out exactly what we're doing going forward, fitness-wise, because athletic ambition just courses through my veins right now, and I'm being pulled in so many different directions. I don't know which direction to turn, which way to turn. But right now we got 298 on bench, just 2 pounds shy, and I'm not gonna say this in kilos, guys. You can do the math yourself if you care that much about the kilos. But 298, 2 pounds shy of 300. And looking back, I did struggle with that rep a little more than I thought I would. I feel like my energy levels were a little bit different on bench press compared to squat and deadlift, unfortunately. I did crash quite a bit before deadlift. I was very fatigued before that. The whole process of this meet day thing was to dehydrate myself and do the gut cut, and then I replenished everything once I made weight, and I made weight right on the dot at 74 kilograms, not an ounce more or an ounce less. As you can see, I also failed that last rep of 305 on bench. Absolutely humiliating, but we're gonna mark that down and soar towards ×2 body weight bench press. It's gonna happen. I'm not worried about it. We're going to come back, and we're also going to get our biggest goal is to have a 165 pound, because that's my weight class in the next meet, not 163. But yes, a 165 pound 300 pound bench press. So a 300 pound bench press at 165. And then basically the instant I made weight, I started rehydrating, got electrolytes in, had a sandwich, and basically a whole jug of orange juice. And then throughout the day, I just kept eating like this jar I had of raw honey, which was absolutely splendid. And then I also had like a honey banana sandwich in addition to that. And sip cans of pre-workout late into the day. Not my usual forte, but for this, I took drastic measures. This final deadlift I think is a little out of order, so here's just me talking over some footage. You can see Caden right there, sorting through everything. Absolute genius. But this is my last attempt, and I believe it is 402 or 401 pounds. You'll see it before I do. But what are my thoughts about this meet? How did it go? What do I think I'll keep doing? I think that I want to continue to pursue strength and at least see like how far into powerlifting I can make it. I do have some aesthetic goals, and they can kind of conflict with each other because with powerlifting, your goal is to hoist tremendous loads across squat, bench, and deadlift. But, you know, like when you do that, you know, the lats, the shoulder width, your abs, it doesn't matter quite as much. My quads looking pretty good though right here. But I have some plans to compete in bodybuilding in the future. So I'm thinking that until that time comes, I just try to put on as much strength as possible and enjoy it, because I do enjoy it, even though like my face is pretty stern in all this footage. But then right here, you can see, hold on a second, there I come. I won my weight class. And there may or may not have been anybody else in my weight class, but that's a victory in of itself because it means I cut down to get out of 83, I think is the next weight class up. And that was all us, baby. The good Lord, Caden, and myself dropping down into a lower body weight. So that's a victory in of itself. So we placed first in the 74 kilogram. I think we had like a 350 dot score, and we had a great time. So thank you guys so much for watching and following me along this journey. Stronger by the day will continue, because we will continue to get stronger by the day and make gains across all athletic domains. So I love you guys. God bless y'all. Stay tuned for what's next. Peace out, and I'll see y'all next time.